Hey everybody, this is Brittany here from Surfing Waves of Light, and this is Cleanse Day 3. It's going super well in case you were wondering. Celery juice really helps with cravings and stuff like that, so I'm feeling good. My energy's been good, and I had a really wonderful day, but I just wanted to start off this video by playing a little music. And last night after the cleanse meeting, I was sitting and just trying to play this song, and something totally different came through, and it was that. So I thought it would be a nice way to start this video, really calming. There's another guy on YouTube. His channel name is escaping me right now, but he starts his videos with this beautiful music, and it just really sets the tone. So I will put his name in the description below. You should definitely check him out. He channels as well. So anyway, I'm gonna channel a message from the guides. Yeah, let's see what they have to say. Thanks for being here, and thanks for everyone who's following along on this journey. Greetings, dear beings. We are the Motherly Energies of the Arcturian Council. We are an aspect of this collective that is characteristic of the nurturers, of the lovers, of the supporters, and of the caregivers. We are beings, energies that hold space for others. We are beings who create the healing spaces that you all go to when you are traveling to a sacred site or attending a retreat. We come in and work through beings in order to create the most healing spaces that we can on this plane of Earth, at this dimension, and at this time. You see, the spaces that are around you, they hold energy. And just being in the presence of a being can be a healing space. And so we do not limit ourselves just to rooms or places, but also we can create healing spaces through beings. And so we are very creative in where we make these spaces and how we create them. With the simple touch, a drop of energy can transform an entire space into a place where you can go to be held, to feel sacred, and to experience yourself as unconditional love. And so many of you could think back to times during this 3D journey when things were much more dense, when things were much more hard, when there was not connection to source as there is now, with so many intuits and channels, guides and teachers, feelings and synchronicities that are quote unquote invading your planet at this time. Think back to the times 10, 15, 20 years ago when you were trying to deal with a situation, but you did not have you were not armed with the correct thought or belief in order to fully move through that without holding on to any low frequency, energetic guilt feelings, resentments, or lower dimensional emotions. We brought this being back to a time like that just recently. During these cleanses, a lot of times old memories will submerge from the deep sub or unconscious. This is because there is room. This being has not only made room in her physical diet, but also her life, to allow herself time for silence and reflection, music playing, and creative expression. These are places where we can both reveal traumas and heal them. These are places where we can bring them to the surface in a safe way, just as this cleanse brings the body into a sacred place so that it can release long-held toxins that it would not normally be able to release, because the body is still so inflicted with toxins. Even those with the cleanest diets, depending on where they live or where their sources of food are, it can be hard with where your planet is at now. And so when you do artistic endeavors and creative things, channeling, music, hiking, being, silence, any of these endeavors, parenting, you allow yourself to go through a healing process. And you do it in a safe way. You do it in a guided and a gentle way, just as this cleanse. This cleanse does not go from a full unhealthy diet into days of juicing and smoothies and no food. This cleanse takes steps. The first 3 days, you slowly ease out of eating fats and also just taking away foods that do not serve. There are the list of no foods. And then in the second 3 days, there is a deep detoxing process that occurs by eating the more specific foods on the menu. And that brings your body another step closer to that deep detoxing process. And then in the last few days, you eat lots of food, but you minimize the impact of digestion. And this allows, because the body is not working so hard to digest and do all its normal functions, this allows that release of toxins, that storage bin of toxins that resides in your energy bodies, in your livers, in your fat, and all the other cells that are not well. So we can do this in many ways. Cleansing really is it's a creative process. It's not just a science, it's also an art. There's infinite ways you can go through this cleanse, and each time we may give different guidance about how to do it based on where you are and what you are going through. And so one of the most important things you can do for yourself is find a sacred space. Create a sacred space. Ask us, the motherly beings, to come in and help you create sacred space. And so we have done this with this being. She is here with her beloved Greg and her terrific friend Jamie, who is sharing this space, and they are all working together, but holding a loving vibration, holding gentleness and kindness in this house as they go through this journey together, knowing that these emotions are going to surface. And so we brought this being because she's in such a sacred space and in a place where she can fully examine, where she can fully visualize and look at this experience. We brought her back to a time when she was in college. She was deeply sad. This was the most depressed time this being has ever had in her whole life. She was thinking about leaving the school she was at. She was not getting along with her roommates. Her boyfriend and her had broken up, but he also had stopped speaking to her. And this was very painful for this being. This being does not like separation. She does not feel good about it, but her egoic emotions at the time had created so much toxicity that, of course, it resulted in a space of no longer speaking with the boy that she had considered her love at the time. And so this was painful for her. So many painful emotions were coming to the surface, and she did not have the tools, the Course in Miracles, the thoughts and the beliefs to move through that successfully. She felt alone. She felt separated. She felt as if there was no hope for the future. This is an experience many of you have, as life on earth is quite hard, and the conditioning of high school and college provides great possibility for these type experiences because of the social, the mental, the pressures, all of the pressures that come as you age in the society. Every year you get a little more freedom, but also a truckload more of responsibility. And so in this state of aloneness, she distracted herself. She joined many clubs. She put herself deep into her studies, and she went into a sympathetic mode of fight or flight for a long time, staying alive, staying awake, staying busy so that she did not have to feel the great suffering that her mind was delivering to her at the time. Her mind was telling her that she was separated from this being forever, and that was quite painful. She did not have another way to look at it. But the purpose of us telling you about this time in this being's life is because there was one sound that actually brought her to this sacred space we have described. In the residence hall where she was living, there was another boy who she did not know who would play guitar in the common areas. She did not know how to play guitar. She always loved to sing but had never picked up an instrument. And this boy would play, and she would go in her most deep sadnesses, in her most deepest depressions and loneliness, and she would just listen to him. And she would listen to him play all different songs, many of which she didn't know, in this beautiful acoustic manner, with singing and with just a beautiful flow of strumming. And in those moments of listening, not only was this being able to access a more loving vibration, but she was also able to catharsis some of those feelings that were fueled by the inappropriate thoughts, the unconscious thoughts that she had been taught as a being on this planet who received a traditional Catholic upbringing and normal Western upbringing, going to school, getting jobs, and all the things that come with that culture. This being can think back to those times of when she was in the room with that dear being, and she does remember feeling better. She does remember that small lift off that was taking her a bit off the ground, the deep sadness, the low point that she was experiencing. And so through our brilliant ability to send messages to this being, both through verbal action as well as in the experiences of her life, we led her to listen to a song on her Spotify playlist, which led her to another song. This song is The Heart of Life by John Mayer, and this song brought her back to that moment because that boy used to play that song. It is such a beautiful song, and it provides so much catharsis, and this is one area where music can really greatly serve you beings when you're having low moments. It can provide this catharsis. It can provide a sacred space for you no matter where you are. It is just like the drop of energy we described. It is a vibration put out, and it can allow you to transmute these sadness, these guilt, these resenting feelings. Because for some, there are no other tools, there are no other ways, but music has always been there. Music, so simple and so complex. It is so much more than just a sound. It creates an environment. It changes an atmosphere. It provides the sacredness when used in that way that is so much needed on this planet. And so this being was inspired to try to play that song, and that chord progression is what she played in the beginning, but it came with her own twist. This is our inspiration. This is such a pivotal moment for her because it shows through its symbolism as well as the physical event that occurred that she has moved past that she has taken that moment in time and has up-leveled it into the next moment in time, into a higher frequency consciousness. You can look back at your life and see all of these events that seemingly random truly had a purpose. They truly served something, and you will see that many things that occurred in the past, or ideas or songs or sentences, they are going to be presenting themselves again, but in an up-leveling. This is the same thing that was occurring when this being was clearing her space. She had pairs of black yoga pants she had for years with holes in them. They had holes in them for years, and she kept them. She did not feel like buying new pants. She let them go finally after many years, and literally the next day, her beloved Greg, who has never bought her clothing before, from 4 years of being together, brought her 3 pairs of pants, black leggings, green leggings, and shorts. Exactly what she needed. She loved them. The same thing occurred with a supplement she threw away. She had made dandelion tea many years ago out of some dandelions in the backyard, and she had it in her cabinet for many, many years, and she kept thinking, I will use this, I will use this. Well, years went by. She released that dandelion tea, and on Christmas, during the White Elephant game, we inspired her to pick a certain box. And guess what was in it? Dandelion tea, as well as some supplements that she very much needed because she had just finished from being sick. And so you see, there is this up-leveling occurring. It's occurring through spaces. It's occurring through songs. It's occurring through literally all different events. We want you to be aware of it. We want you to watch the up-leveling. We want you to see how sacred things are becoming, how even things that have been made so completely twisted and distorted and unloving, they can actually be revived, recreated. One of your biggest goals here on earth is to take the things that exist and make them more loving. Add to them, expand them, for love is expansion, and that is what you are here to do. You are here to take what is here, what is already current on the planet, whether that be a song, an idea, a business, a form of healing, and you are here to add your creative touch to it. And doing that not only allows other beings to access you and heal and benefit from your inspiration and ingenuity, but also it allows us to heal you, because you all are healing best when you take the time to be in sacred space, to do creative projects, and to just dedicate time to healing. That is all we really ask, is that you dedicate some time to healing. So that is our message for tonight. We want you to all be aware of how things are evolving and expanding, and it is exciting when you have moments that flash back in time, but you can see them coming together, for time is not real. It is not the line that you have been taught. It's more like there's dots all over with different ideas and memories, and you can access them in different ways with different levels of consciousness. So that song she accessed through a lower frequency consciousness, because that is where she was when she was in college, her freshman and sophomore year. Now that song has come back into her life, where it is a part of an aspect of her soul, but she is now experiencing it in a higher conscious way, and she is able to expand on it. So she can take that beautiful song that was written by John Mayer, and she can add her own to it. She can expand it and create it further out. There are many artists who do this. They take something great and they make it better. That is your job here, to take whatever is in front of you, whatever you're inspired to do, and make it a little bit better through small, loving steps, gentle to yourself and gentle to those around you. We know that you can do this because we watch you do it every day. We watch each and every one of you grow, and we love you so much for that, because progression is all we wish to see. Progression in time, not as important as progression in vibration and up-leveling, and actually getting to a place where you don't even know the time. You don't even know the day, because you're so in the flow, you're so in the moment. And that is where you stay healed. That is where you stay high. That is where alignment is. It is just being in it, being so present that there is not a lot else out there, only because you are so tapped into who you are. You are so connected to these parts of yourself that were separated. We look forward to witnessing your expansion, your creation, and your love, for that is what you came here to express. You are all teachers of light. You are all lovers of this planet, and you are here simply to be the best versions of yourself that you can be, so that this planet is flooded with loving thoughts, loving vibes, loving music, loving everything, So much so that these systems and unloving energies on the planet cannot exist because of how bright it is here. Bring your light, bring your brightness, expand, explore, and love, and you will be fulfilling your journey that you came here to fulfill from the soul contracts you made before incarnating on this planet. We love you all so very much, and we are with you, calling us to help you create sacred space and to access aspects of yourself in higher frequency vibrations and consciousnesses, for we love doing that. It is so fun to see the patterns and ripples of life. Namaste. All right, everybody, that was the motherly energies of the Arcturian Council. So they just have a much more loving, comforting, holding feel. They just want to hold you and love you and let you know that you're doing so great. They just want you to know that. So thank you for listening to this video, and this is Cleanse Day 3. I don't know if you notice any differences with me. I will say, before I end this video, I get these really bad rashes on my chest, and a lot of times they actually get worse when I first start cleansing. So I wanted to show you that so we can see how that goes, if that shifts as I go through the process. But otherwise, I'm pretty healthy right now, which is great. So love you all. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.